Morning everyone, thanks very much for joining us for this week's session of Virtual Knowledge. We're joined today by Sarah and Claire from Visit Jersey. So I hope you've got your notepad and pens all ready so that they can take some notes for the quiz later on. So first of all, what we'll do is we will give you a wee quick update of everything Jet2holidays, and then I'll pass you over for the presentation for Visit Jersey. So a few things from Jet2holidays. So we're coming into the lates period now. We're well into the lates period, so it is all about those lates, June, July, August, even September departures. There's some really good offers out there, so just get on the trade website and have a good look around those. We still have millions of free child places available for peak school holidays. More are getting loaded all the time. So again, a really good opportunity for you guys to nail those sales with some free child places. And the big thing this week, it's back. Love Island is back, and Vibe by Jet2holidays is the official travel partner. So we're mega excited, looking forward to all those texts and things and everything all Jet2. We do have a competition on as well. So from now until the 10th of July, you can win me the chance of winning a Vibe goodie bag with Love Island merch in it as well. So all you need to do is make a Vibe booking and you'll automatically be entered into the draw. So good luck with that as well. So that is really everything from us. Please make sure you're taking notes. There is a quiz at the end to visit Jersey goodie bag, so you can win one of those. There's 5 up for grabs. So just make sure you're taking plenty of notes so you can answer those questions, and it is fastest finger first as well, remember. So good luck. So I'll just pass you on to Claire and Sarah for the presentation.
Thank you.
No worries.
So good morning, I'm Sarah Barton, Head of Trade for Visit Jersey, and my colleague Claire Elsden is the Travel Partnership Manager for Visit Jersey. We're really delighted to be here this morning to talk to you a little bit about Jersey. I know it's a place that's probably familiar by name to many of you, but for a few you may never have been to Jersey, and it's a beautiful island that we hope this morning we can give you a flavour of what that island has to offer your customers. It's an ideal destination for customers looking for, as we say, we're going into late, it's a last minute break where there's still availability in the peak season in July and August. So it's a great destination for families, but it's also a great destination for couples and for solo travellers. It's a place that really is unique. It has a fascinating history, which we'll share some of that this morning. It has beautiful sandy beaches, which I can't tell you how lovely they are, and great food and generally a wealth of things to see and do. So now what we're going to do is run a short destination video to just familiarise you with the destination, and then we'll run through some of that information in a bit more detail.
Or at least I'll try. Here we are.
So there you go. There's a short flavour of Jersey. It's an ideal destination, as I said before, for those who want to explore, for families, for couples, and it's very easy to get to. It's only a short flight with Jet2 from the UK, so it's actually pretty close to home, but it actually has a wealth of different things to see and do. We often say Jersey's small but pretty mighty. It packs a punch. There is just so much to see and do. It's easy to get around. It's only 9x5 in size, but actually there's lots and lots of things, from attractions to a beautiful landscape to explore. The familiarity of the destination means it's ideal for someone who's coming over from the UK. There's no need for exchanging money because they take the UK pound. However, they have their own Jersey unique money. It is a very unique destination with lots of things to see and do with regards to a unique language, its own currency. Jersey has its own laws, its own amazing food, from our own Jersey roll potatoes, which I'm sure many of you have tried, and our own, of course, celebrated dairy cows. So let's move on next to the actual location of the island. So as I mentioned before, it's just a short hop over from the UK, 100 miles south of Britain and 14 miles off the French coast. It's part of a cluster of islands called the Channel Islands, which many of you will be familiar with, 27 miles off Guernsey. And also it's close to some islands called Sark, Alderney and Libru. So it's a great place to go. As I said, familiar to some, but many wouldn't have visited before. So it's a great destination to travel across to from the UK, and a really wonderful holiday. So I'm going to hand you over to Claire, who's just going to talk through a little bit about the what you need to come and access the island.
Sorry, Sarah. Yes. So importantly, Jersey is part of the common travel area of the UK, so no passports are required. ID only when you're getting on board, which is fab. Means you can hop onto a plane and be on the beach with a sundowner before you know it, or an ice cream. Sarah, I think you were going to take this slide in terms of access.
Yeah, so sorry about that. I was supposed to do the other slide before, so I threw Claire a bit there. So let's go back to just how easy it is to get to Jersey. Getting to Jersey with Jet2holidays couldn't be easier. So you can jump on a short flight. Flight time, in many cases, depending from where you're coming from around the UK, is under an hour. What's wonderful is Jet2's got some really good regional departure points from Leeds, Bradford, Newcastle, East Midlands, and also from Stansted, which is great for customers coming from Kent and all around the London area. So for anyone looking for a shorter stay, the wonderful thing is Leeds Bradford flies 3 times a week, so ideal for a short break for people who want to try Jersey for the first time. But then some of the other destinations, you know, some of the other flights, you can come for 7 nights, and I can promise you, your customer will have plenty of things to see and do and time to really relax. So yeah, finally over to Claire.
I'm back in the flow. I'm back in the flow. Thanks, Sarah. So I'm just going to talk to you about kind of the island's geography. Once you land in St Helier, which is around here, if you can see my mouse, there are plenty of options in terms of getting around the island and getting from the airport to St Helier, which is on the south coast here. Car hire and taxis are readily available outside the airport to pick up and go off on your way. But equally, we have a great public bus network, which can take you from the airport down around the south coast. So it gives you a lovely kind of taster and a start to the island. It's a great sustainable way of traveling, but equally it's great for the budget and great for the wallet. I think a single fare costs £2.25, and you can get a family pass for a week for £65, for 7 days, £65. So it really is a great way to explore the island, and the network does cover the whole island, so you won't be without when you're traveling by bus. Just going to talk you through kind of what there is to see in a little bit of detail. So along the south coast, you'll have huge stretches, as you can see, of golden sandy beaches. So really great for family friendly, building sandcastles and having lots of ice cream on the beach. St Brelade's Bay here, and we'll talk about that in the next section a little bit more, is a really popular hotspot for great hotels, great beachside restaurants like the Beach Club, and again those sandy stretches. Along the north coast, you have lots of winding clifftop pathways, so superb for walking, hidden coves, and again more sandy beaches. In Plymouth here, you have puffins, and we have a huge puffin sculpture, which is a nod to the colony of puffins that Jersey are really focused on saving and conservation work. Along the east coast, there's lots of fishing villages, including Gorey, which is about here. Gorey is overlooked by Montorgueil Castle, which you can see, and from the battlements of Montorgueil, you can see the potato fields down to the coast, Gorey fishing village and all the boats bobbing in the harbour, and then across to France on a nice day, on a clear day. And then on the north coast, you've got a 5-mile stretch of beach here. Off the beach, you have some of the best waves in the UK for surfing. Equally, there are some fantastic restaurants along this coast where you can sit, enjoy a sundowner and enjoy those spectacular sunsets of an evening. I will pass you back to Sarah for places to stay.
So, places to stay in Jersey. The wonderful thing for your customers is there's a real choice of accommodation. Claire mentioned, as you arrive at the airport, you can get the bus down to St Helier. St Helier is the capital of Jersey and actually has a number of really fantastic hotels. It's very centrally located, so if people want to go out and have a wander, they can. So popular hotels are the Pomme d'Or, which is a 4-star, and the Royal Yacht. They pretty much look over the harbour of St Helier, so an ideal location if you want to have the freedom of wandering in and around St Helier in the evenings. The Merton Hotel Resort is also very popular for families. It has its own flow rider for anyone who wants to have a go at surfing as such. It's a great location, a bit more of a resorty type property. That's just on the outskirts of St Helier. But we've also got the Radisson Blu, a well-known brand. But many of the hotels are family run, superb facilities and excellent choice of accommodation for all. So we can share more details of that. But anyone who's looking for perhaps a beachside hotel, there's a wonderful choice there as well. The Grand Hotel Jersey is also in St Helier but overlooks the main beach. The Oamaru Hotel is a 3-star hotel, just a short walk from St Helier, and it overlooks a place called Havre de Pas, which is an old Victorian swimming lido, a really lovely location, beautiful when to see the views when the tide goes out. There's also the Beachcombers and the Beausite, which are over on the east side of the island. So a real choice of places. There's Lorison as well, which is right on the beach in St Brelade's and St Brelade's Hotel. So a good choice of properties to choose from, something for all your customers. And those are customers who are looking for a bit more of a boutique stay. There's Longville Manor, which is a 5-star hotel, beautiful grounds. There's the Somerville Hotel nestled in St Aubyn's Harbour. It's a really pretty harbour. It's recently refurbished all its rooms, has an outdoor pool. The Green Hills Country House Hotel, which is a small but really lovely country house hotel where it's got 33 bedrooms. So again, an alternative choice for those customers looking to stay a little bit more inland, but looking for that unique offering. And then we've also got the Hotel de France, and a number of hotels have some great spa facilities which are on offer, which offer all sorts of treatments. And so if you've got groups that are looking for spa treatments and just a relaxation, then that's an alternative as well. So just handing back to Claire, we'll look at exploring Jersey.
Thanks, Sarah. So Sarah's mentioned, despite Jersey's small size, it has a huge amount to do, and it can really fill your time on Jersey, no matter if you're doing a weekend away or a week stay. There's a lot of adventure activities. They can be as fast or as slow paced as you want, from surfing, as I mentioned, from rib tours, which you can see here, taking a speedboat to some of our archipelagos just off the coast of Jersey, where along the way you can spot dolphins and seals. And once you get to them, they've got abandoned fishing huts, so you can picnic there and jump off the sandbanks and snorkel. So it really is a nice, you know, half-day adventure. We have paddle boarding and kayaking, which are fantastic ways to see the island from the sea, so a different way of seeing it, and exploring all of those hidden coves and sea caves. And back on land, Jersey is absolutely fantastic for cycling and for hiking. There are lots of options for cycle hire on the island, including electric bikes if you want a little bit of a less energetic experience. You know, you can go through countryside lanes and woodlands and pick up fresh farm produce from our hedge veg stalls along the route. So they'll have Jersey potatoes now, but they'll also have strawberries, fresh strawberries and fresh tomatoes across the season. There are also fantastic things like yoga from the battlements of Montorgueil. There's so much going on in Jersey to explore. I won't play the videos now, but happily share them afterwards. Jersey's history is vast, from Ice Age settlers through to World War II occupation. There was a huge amount to get your teeth stuck into. I probably recommend one of the best ways of really bringing that story to life is to do a guided tour. We have plenty of tour guides, including Jersey Uncovered, History Alive, that really do take you around and give you an idea of not only the island, but all of the fantastic sites we have. I've already mentioned Montorgueil a few times. It's one of our 3 castles and well worth a visit. But we also have Elizabeth Castle, which unfortunately you can't actually see here, but there is a fantastic image. That's set off just off the coast of St Helier, and at low tide you can walk across to it, and at high tide they have a ferry to take you across. And actually during the summer season they have the 1781 militia that will do gunfire at, I think, midday and 4 o'clock on most days, and they'll actually bring what life was like as a soldier during that time for visitors. We also have one of the oldest buildings in the world. I think it's the 10th oldest building in the world, Lahudby, which is a Neolithic dolmen, sort of similar to the pyramids. You can see here another example of the dolmens on the island, and that is part of the Ice Age story. And the occupation is a really big part of Jersey's history. So the Channel Islands were the only part of Britain to be occupied by German soldiers during World War II. So for 5 years, the island has lived under German rule. One of the best ways to understand and to see that story is to visit Jersey War bunkers, Jersey War tunnels. You can also do tours of the bunkers which are scattered across the island, including things like the radio tower here. And actually you can stay in that for overnight stays. Every 9th of May, Sarah, have I got that date right? 9th of May, the island celebrates Liberation Day. As you can see here, some of the celebrations that are centered around Pomdor Hotel and Liberation Square, but they really do put on a show for that day, music and parades and festivals. And the food in Jersey is absolutely fantastic. I could go on and on and on. So rein me in, guys, if I'm taking too long on this one. We've mentioned it a couple of times, but Jersey has the big 4 that we always encourage visitors to try, including Jersey Royal potatoes, which are in season now. We've got oysters. So Jersey has some of the UK's biggest oyster beds just off the east coast, which you can actually do a tour around and then finish up sampling some fresh oysters with a glass of champagne, because why not? Lobster, shellfish and crabs are also incredibly fresh, caught from the seas around the island, and you can find them on a lot of menus. And Jersey dairy. So Sarah mentioned our cows, and their dairy is really rich and creamy and delicious. So absolutely during the summer months, you should be recommending the ice cream. And I've shared with the team our ice cream map to find the best spots for ice cream on the island. But equally, there's fudge, there's cream, there's milk, so you can really enjoy that on the island. And we do have, I think, over 330 restaurants. So they will suit every budget, from beachside cafes like Mad Mary's Cafe on the North Coast, which is famed for its crab sandwiches by the locals, to sunset barbecues with Faulkner Fisheries on the North Coast. So watching that incredible sunset with the catch of the day being barbecued in front of you by the team there. We also have Michelin star restaurants, Bohemia, which is part of the club hotel, are a Michelin star, and you can actually do a set lunch package with them, and it's a spa and lunch package, which is great value. And if you wanted a bit of pampering and indulgence, it's a really good option. We have a few foodie experiences, including Lamar Vineyard, where you can go and do a tour of the vineyard and do wine tasting, but also gin, rum and chocolate tasting, which they make on the estate. So not just wine. There's Channel Island Liquor Co. In St Helier, where again you can do tasting of gin, which is locally distilled, and foraging. So I don't think we've mentioned it, but Jersey has the 3rd largest tidal range in the world. So when the tide goes out, the island doubles in size. So you can do tours to explore that moonscape landscape. So it's completely different with rock pools to go and do crabbing in, but equally you can go foraging and pick up some seaweed and then learn about the kind of different types of produce that Jersey has. Again, in the videos. And there's a huge amount of nature and gardens to explore, from botanical gardens at Samara's Manor to lavender fields, which will be in bloom now. We've got the wetlands on the North Coast, where you can go and spot rare and wildlife and go twitching for the twitchers among us. Equally, you can just walk across the countryside and just soak up the countryside and spot the cows. And we've mentioned quite a few of the attractions already. They're all really family friendly. There's lots for kids to do, from the Mertens water park, Aquadome, and the castles all have stuff to keep children entertained. In fact, Montague I went to with my toddler, and they have a room to dress with dressing up clothes, so we all had to go with our knights helmets on and those little wooden horses and kind of gallop around the castle. It's great fun, but we looked ridiculous. But it would be I'd be amiss to not mention Jersey Zoo, which you can see the gorillas down here. So that was set up by Gerald Durrell, and you might have seen the TV show, I think on Netflix and BBC, about his life. It was the first zoo of its kind with a real conservation first focus, and it's a gem on the island. Because you can see some of the world's rarest animals in the park, from the gorillas, and they've got tortoises, sloths, bats, butterflies, so it's absolutely well worth an afternoon's visit. And there's a huge amount of events going on the island, from the Tortoise Trail at the moment by Jersey Zoo, where there's 50 huge tortoise sculptures across the island, which have been designed by local artists. So you can download an app. I think so. The event starts 1st of July, goes through to September. You can download an app and join in and spot the tortoise and sort of tick all the ones that you've seen off. In August, we have the Battle of the Flowers, which you can see up the top here. There's a huge carnival parade with lots of floats decorated with flowers, and there'll be live music and bands and lots of celebrations. So it's an absolutely fantastic weekend. Also in August, Jersey Arts Centre puts on a load of events, including Word in the Park, Jazz in the Park, Classical in the Park. So that's a great one to keep an eye on for the customers that just want to have a picnic in a park and enjoy local artists. And in September, we have Weekender Festival, which is a 2-day music festival. And one of the days they'll have an ABBA tribute band. We have the Jersey and Guernsey Air Show, which will feature the Red Arrows and the RAF Falcons parachute team, and Jersey Pride too. Some more local events though in October, and I mentioned the foodie stuff on the island, but Jersey used to be really known for its apple orchards and cider production. So you can go to National Trust and take part in their cider making festival, or just enjoy the cider. But we also have a black butter making festival. Black butter is not butter, it's made from cider and some spices, and it's sort of like a chutney jam style thing, and you can go and do that black butter making as well. So October is great for food and autumn and kind of fireside pubs and walks in the countryside. And I'll pass back to Sarah for your Jersey cheat sheets.
So yes, this is just a little conclusion from us, a few cheating sort of notes to have. As Claire mentioned, it has over 330 restaurants across the island. The food is amazing. You'll never get a bad meal. In Jersey, English is spoken, but with a faint Jersey twang. That's called Jerrier. We have 3 historic castles across the island. It's the sunniest part of the British Isles officially. So they do have their own mini microclimate. As we said, it's 14 miles off the French coast and just 100 miles from the UK southern coast. It has a lot of French influence, so all the French road names and lots of French, French used throughout the island. We have 500 miles of walks, so wonderful place to go and explore that landscape. We have the Jersey unique pound, but we also take UK currency, so you won't have that exchange rate issue. We mentioned the third largest tidal range in the world, and it does change the whole look of the island. It's fascinating to see and amazing. We've got 24 beaches, and we're British Crown dependency, but with our own customs laws and traditions. And then one to finish on, we have 3,000 of our own legendary cows that produce that wonderful Jersey ice cream. So there you go, that's really Jersey in a nutshell. I hope it's given you a little flavour of the island. As we say, if you have any customers coming in, you're looking for more information, Jet2holidays is a great tool to utilise. We've also got a business website, business.jersey.com, where you can go and find things around itinerary ideas and destination tools, although we'll share our destination toolbook with you after this. We've got an asset bank where you can go and pick some wonderful images about Jersey if you ever want to put something in the window. And we've got other separate online trainings on our business site. So if you want to listen again or listen to something else specifically about Jersey, we've got a range of trainings on there. So, you know, we really do hope this has given you a flavour of the island. And as I said, Jet2, they've got some great flights over to Jersey. So there's still availability, last minute availability for that June, July, August period. So we hope your customers and you know, will get booking and you talk to them about Jersey, because it's a wonderful place to come to. So thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, ladies. I don't know about you guys, but I've found out some really good information about the destination and pleasantly surprised as well. I think sometimes we do forget that it's not that far away, and it's such a beautiful country to visit as well. So thanks very much. We do have some questions that have popped through. So do you drive on the same side of the road as the UK?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
So that makes it easy. So if someone wants to jump off their flight and hire a car, they can do that. There's also an app you can download if you want to do. There's some electric cars you can drive. So yeah, it's easy to get around. Some of the roads are quite small. We have green lanes where the speed limit is maximum 15 miles per hour, and the priority goes to pedestrians. But it is a pretty easy island to get around. And sometimes it's quite nice to have a car because you can go and find those tiny little unique bays and beaches.
Oh, brilliant, thank you. And then can you take dogs on the ferry? That's one of the other questions.
You can actually. There's lots of information on the Condor Ferry site, and they can tell you about you know, places where you can take your dog. So yes, definitely.
Fantastic. And then one of the last ones is, how long does the bus take from the airport to St Helier?
It's about 20 to 30 minutes. So not long.
That's excellent. It's really
It's
good.
really easy and it's a great option. Alternatively, you know, maybe when you're arriving, it might be advisable to ask your customers or you could pre-book a taxi for them, or yeah, the bus is very, very simple. So it's only £2.25 and you're there before you know it in St Helier. So it's a great way to get into the main central town.
I think a great way to sort of picture the size of the island is you're never more than 10 minutes from the coast at any one point. So it really is an easy island to get around. You know, you can cover city, coastal and countryside break all in that one destination.